Trial Day Entrepreneurship Case Presentation. Quick thank you to our judges for being here with us today. We have Keith Parsons, Brett Intrader, and Brad Buckott. All right, judges, you will have a maximum of 23 minutes to present. The first 5 minutes will be protected time with no questions from the judges. After 5 minutes, you'll hear a knock on the desk indicating the end of protected time. In the next 15 minutes, judges are free to ask questions during the presentations. At the 20-minute mark, you'll hear another knock on the desk indicating the start of protected time. You'll have an additional 3 minutes to conclude the presentation. So the volunteer timekeeper, will show time cards at various intervals to let you guys know how much time is left, and I will be stopping any speaker who continues to speak after the maximum time limit. So no questions, comments, cell phones, or picture taking will be permitted from our audience at any time. The audience will only be permitted to applaud following the end of the presentation. The audience is banned from any material that bears the name of their competing school, and we ask that the audience please exit the room immediately following the question and answer period. Competitors, you can begin as soon as you're ready.
Good morning, everybody. We are extremely excited here today to present to you a revolutionary product. But before we get into that, I want to paint you guys a picture today. So I want you to remember when you were a child, when your mom and dad would teach you how to wash your dishes. Well, you lazily probably just ran your dishes under the water and they were extremely mad about it because they told you the best way to do it is fill the sink up with water, put some soap in there, and then scrub it down, right? But there were 3 problems with this. One, you had more important things to do because it took some time, like watching TV or something else. 2, it would waste an incredibly large amount of water by running. And 3, you'd have to deal with the gunk, the food, all the things that you'd have to just scoop up at the end when you drained all that water, and you'd have to throw it in the garbage, and that was just nasty. But today we have an incredible opportunity for you guys to seize, and that's why myself, Lainey, and Abel bring you Filter. So what's the opportunity ahead? There's a growing number of households in the Saskatchewan area. Water waste is becoming a growing issue that we need to address. And 3, plumbing costs are just at an all-time high. And normal consumers, they're just tired of paying plumbers $500 an hour to deal with this. So what's our solution? The Filter. A filter plug that cleans sink water as you were doing your dishes. So here's how it works. Number 1, the user of the filter plugs the sink with the filter, similar to a household plug. Number 2, they fill the sink with the water, just how your mom and dad taught you. Fill the sink with the water, put some soap in there, and you begin to scrub your dishes, your dirty dishes. And as this continues, the filter is running with a motor, so it starts to operate. And number 3, the motor turns on and begins to intake water from one end, from the sink, filters the water as you clean your dishes, and spews the water back through a pump system back into the sink. So, while the motoring system pumps the filtered water back out into the sink, in the storage area is where all of the food, all the gunk, and all the residue that you just don't really want to touch, that's where it's all stored. And then that continues out, and then once it's done, you pull out the entire filter, so pretty much similar to how you pull out a plug. The water would drain, and then you simply dispose of the contents, and it's easy to use, easy to clean. So now Lainey's going to talk about what we're asking for.
So as your senior management team, we're really excited to come forward with this opportunity as you've asked us to look into initiatives and new directions for the company regarding the different opportunities that we see. So what we would like to do is take $750,000 of our company's resources and aid to establish a new standard business unit. So this would be a wholly owned subsidiary of our parent company. And as you can see, the expenses of this investment we asked for this project is mostly towards marketing, prototyping, and selling. So again, this set of financials was really created to give you an indication of the viability of this project in the future. However, in the future, we would like to talk about the concept of royalties for ourselves. However, we do again want to stress that we are trying to just show the viability of this organization and business, so that won't be included in our financial projections. So how do we make money? First of all, there's no other product on the market. There's nothing that does the same thing as us, and we have that differentiation that sets us apart. Second of all, we've got an incredibly healthy margin. Third, we have a growth strategy of how we're going to expand throughout the prairies and then furthermore into the US. And finally, customer retention. So you're probably wondering about the major key figures of this project. First of all, it's going to take us almost 10,000 units to break even, which isn't a hugely substantial amount of units. There's a payback period of year 2, and finally, the 5-year return will be $41 million.
So the value proposition really comes down to the fact that we are offering a very revolutionary sink filter, and it makes washing dishes cleaner and more sustainable. So we really focused on 3 different axes when we came to this decision. We're thinking about the price, so we made sure that it was as low cost as we possibly could be by sourcing it from China, as we'll talk about later on in our actual implementation plan. We also talked about differentiation, so we really wanted to bring a product that's not available to people in the market right now, and that's another reason why we came up with this product. And lastly, we wanted to focus on ease of use. So we need this product to be as simple as possible so that anyone can pick it up. And this is actually going to be reflected as well through our implementation plan and the marketing that we actually came up for this product. So we're going to first of all talk about the market capture.
So as you can see, from the statistics that we had gathered about the Saskatchewan market, there's currently around 1 million people living in households in Saskatchewan, and there's an average of 2.5 people, following with an average household of 400,000. So in the first year, we believe we can capture 3% of this market, and that would give us 12,000 unit sales.
So, I just want to clarify the product. You are catching sort of the debris and waste that, well, I'm washing dishes in my sink.
Exactly.
Correct? Okay. Do you believe that that process alone will be enough to convince people to buy your product? Do they truly hate so much to pick up that nasty stuff with their hand and throw it in the garbage?
Yeah, that's a really good question. There's 2 components to it. One, that it's a nasty process cleaning your dishes with floating, debris and whatnot. The other is savings. So to invest in a $100 product or a $150 product that's going to save you on your utilities is very valuable to some people. So those who are worried about how much money they're spending on water would be very interested in this product.
In looking at the number of people in the province, number of households, obviously a lot of people just use a dishwasher. Has that been factored in to reduce the potential market size?
Yeah, that's definitely a thing that we've looked at and talked about. However, there is an increase in low-income housing. That's been a huge boom in the Saskatchewan market, and dishwashers are expensive, so many people don't own dishwashers. That's another competitor is carburetors we'll talk about later. However, those are usually for higher income households.
Now, are the people that are, this product has to be plugged in, like there's no electricity component to it, or just a filter?
No, the motor is actually run on a battery. So it is a motor that's currently in the plug that you would plug into your sink, and it's a simple battery that you would just change.
So you're talking about lower income people to begin with,
Yeah.
it won't be so expensive.
Yeah. So the idea behind it is the value proposition that Abel talked about earlier that we're bringing forward is if you think about other similar products that are on the market with our marketing plan that we've set out that Abel will actually go into a little bit later. If you think about things like the Sham Wow or the Slap Chop, right? These are things that, people really hate cutting their vegetables and fruits up that much to actually purchase the Slap Chop? Do they hate having to deal with the residue left behind by paper towels to purchase the Sham Wow? And it's that kind of product that we're bringing to the market, right?
Not on price point though.
Not
Those are much easier purchases to make on a whim than $100 or $150.
Right, but those products don't actually save you money in the long run, so this is a bit of an investment piece.
Okay, but it would be a different selling
Yes,
to the consumer than those 2 products.
definitely. I think it's just an
But
analogy.
similar,
Sure.
similar how we're basically providing value.
So I understand, you guys probably understand with your research that little AA battery running motor or whatever it is probably won't create enough electricity to electrocute myself in water. But to the average consumer, do you see a huge risk of putting something that has a motor and runs on electricity in a small tub of water which your hand is fully submerged?
Yep, so we are doing prototyping that is in our financial statements. We'll explain that to you along with the implementation.
Yeah, so I can actually take you through that right now. So implementation, we've broken it up into three stages: immediate, short, and long term. And right to address your question there, in the immediate term, As you can see, we're going through a lot of due diligence before we launch this product. So as you can see, we're going to hire a fully trained engineer right off the bat for the design. So he's going to be able to make sure that those risks are mitigated right off the bat, that this obviously isn't a safety concern launching the product to our consumers. We're going to use this engineer's skill set to design the product, and then we're going to connect with Chinese suppliers to deal with the prototype, begin the prototyping phase. We're going to produce a prototype, run an initial test on it, and then we're going to redesign it based on bug fixes. So this is another area where we're mitigating any potential risks that may pop up. Then we're going to run a pilot through the first 3 months, and then we're going to once again redesign and improve the product before we launch it towards the Saskatchewan area.
I'm really interested in your extensive marketing plan, because I'm seeing this product as probably a market disruptor or a larger learning curve for the average consumer. So how exactly do you plan on marketing directly to your end consumer?
Yeah, exactly. So we've actually broken it similarly up into our 3-stage implementation plan. I'll just quickly finish running you through how we're going to launch the product, and then Belle will take over and give you the 3-step marketing implementation. So first, once we're in the short term, we're actually launching the sales. We're going to take customer feedback once again and redesign and focus on that continuous improvement, things like bug fixes. Then in our medium term, we're going to run an expansion and start selling across Canada. And then we're going to, obviously the due diligence right off the bat means extending and managing that patent for that design.
How do you plan on getting your customer feedback?
Customer feedback, so this is by surveys and making sure, like initially in our immediate term, we had that pilot, and we're going to keep contact with those households that we're connecting with.
Our organization at ENCO, we already have sales reps who already have infrastructure to market goods and put them into stores and meet with reps or buyers, et cetera, et cetera. Why would this be done in a separate division as opposed to just introducing the product line for ENCO that fits into our existing infrastructure?
The reason we wanted to do this is because we sell plumbing goods and supplies. So our focus isn't in production, and we don't really want to shift our focus of our main company just because we don't want to shift our core competencies. We're really good at what we do, and if we want to take a new venture and project, we want to do it with limited liability. So we think it's a good idea to do it separately. However, we can still draw from any resources from parent company if need be.
So this is just one simple product that you hope to increase our annual sales with?
Exactly.
Sure.
We'll sell directly to our store and then retail through that venue.
Yeah, and so take a look at the marketing that we're going to be doing this. So this is how we're going to really spur the sales. And look at the immediate growth. So this is going to be the first spark to get the fire going. We're going to be emphasizing educating the customer and creating the engagement. So this is really the stage when people don't know what this product is. And so we're going to be focusing on educating the customer. So what we're going to be doing is creating an advertising campaign. And this campaign is going to be focusing on, first of all, letting people identify, like on the actual video, it's going to be letting people identify what the worst things they do in the households is to clean. So it's going to be probably mopping, toilet washing, and washing dishes. This is something that everyone really does. So we're going to be then taking them through the rabbit hole to make them see as organically as possible, like as people are talking on the video, that this is really a thing, like this product can really fit really well into their individual lives. That's going to be the first stage, just educating the customer and letting them know that this is something that is on the market and that is available to everyone. In the short term, we're going to be sustaining that growth. That's going to be really leveraging relationships. So we already have 6 different locations in the Saskatchewan area. That means we have a wide client book. So we're going to be reaching out to these people. We're going to be talking to some of these contractors to see if they can add value to our business and if we can reach more customers through that network. Last, we're going to be putting the products in the hands. So this is through the piloting program that we talked about before, and also through the initial prototyping stage. We want people to actually have the value in the hand. This is something that they've never used before, and so really seeing what it does on a day-to-day basis will be the emphasis of this stage, just showing the value through their actual engagement with the product. Lastly, expanding to the new markets. This is going to be showing historic performance. So we're going to do another round of advertising, and also, obviously this is all going to be done a lot through social media as well. We're going to be doing a second round of advertising where we kind of talk about how the product has been doing in the recent past and how it's added value to specific people who purchased it and have been using it for this time. We're going to be repeating the pilot program in the initial stages of the marketing again in these new towns because we'll have learned obviously from the market, and then we're going to be really changing it to fit in with the new market. So if we're going to, let's say, the next province over, Alberta, we're going to be doing some market research there, see what really that market really wants to see in their products, and then tailoring our entire content creation process to fit that very well.
So I think we understand your product a bit better now. Can you just walk us through where the money's at and what business model you're going to use to achieve that?
Absolutely. So again, first, as you saw in market capture, this is going to be the people we're going to sell to. And this is our revenue model. So you can see our sales price is $150. Again, if we're not competing on cost, however, we are competing on differentiation. And although we're not competing on cost, we offer cost savings. So this is an investment piece for those who are willing to buy this. And as you can see, we have a healthy contribution margin of $160 per unit. So this is just a quick look at our financial growth. It's a graph of our earnings, contribution margin, and sales. So you can see our healthy gross margin is really offering us a large hockey stick leap, which is a really nice thing for us to see, and expansion very, very quickly in the 4th, 5th, and 6th year.
So some options to that we'll be competing and really will we need to worry about in the future is the house carburetor. So this is a product that kind of does a similar thing that we do right now. However, these are very expensive to install and they're very intensive because of just the process to get them in put into the house. You need the electrical done, you need to actually put into the sink pipeline. So it really is not, it's not very price conscious. It is differentiated, it is a known name, and it is easy to use. However, the price really takes it out of the league. The generic sink plug, which is one thing, which is just the status quo really, which is where you just dig your hand in there and you clean it yourself. It really isn't a very glamorous thing to do. It is price effective, yes. It is not differentiated, and really it's easy to use for sure, but it's just not very glamorous. And lastly, the new entrants. So there is a potential for new entrants. However, through our patenting process, which will begin soon, we'll be able to mitigate that in the future.
Do you not think the dishwasher would be a complete competitor?
I think because it's so different in price, it's a really different market. The people who are using this are people who probably aren't washing their dishes in the dishwasher if they can't afford a dishwasher. So this is an $150 way to make your dishwashing process easier, whereas dishwashers cost thousands of dollars. So those who own dishwashers probably don't hand wash very often. So we really believe it's a different target market. And now that Abel's talked to you a little bit about the substitution and the competition, we can get back to the financials and talk about why we're going to make you money, and we're not going to be taken out by our competitors. So this is a financial statement. It's an income statement to show the first 5 years. And as you can see, there's a lot of capital expenditure in the first year, and again, tons of money going towards prototyping. So that addresses your issue with safety and hazards. We really want to make sure this product is safe, easy, convenient.
Do you see $250,000 as too much to spend on one product?
I don't.
For our market size, though? Concentration.
I think we're looking at this from a longevity perspective. We're not trying to do something in the short term that's going to be a low quality product. We're trying to create an amazing product that we're going to be able to take
Do you
and
think that
expand.
increases the risk of starting this product at all?
It absolutely,
Big
I
risk,
would
big
agree.
reward?
It does increase the risk, and that was something we had discussed, that there is a risk of putting a lot of capital towards something, but with great risk comes great reward. $250,000 is a lot of money. However, we have 6 locations. We're doing very well. And we're looking to expand, take upon new initiatives.
Do you think that's too much dollar amount for an established company and established plumbing parts to invest in one part? Realistically, for our generic company, is that too?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying completely. I just think that it's not too much. I think the perspective we're trying to take is that we're doing this from a longevity perspective. It's not a part that we're buying from someone else and then reselling. And that's typically what we've been doing, is buying parts from wholesalers and selling. So now what we're looking to do is create a product. And again, with creating a product, there's liability, and we really want to make sure that we're putting our due diligence into making sure this is a safe product and it is a good quality product. Because there's also a risk of tarnishing your name, and we don't want that to happen to our brand.
Yeah, after this initial meeting, we'll definitely have to figure out the exact market size of people who do not have dishwashers. Because that's going to be huge. That's going to really change our market space.
Right.
Yeah, I believe the important thing to also address there, when you're looking at the risk and reward, for any company to truly experience that hockey stick type of growth, it's important to take on new endeavors in new market opportunities. And like I said, like it's while you take on that market opportunity, we've been able to assess the financial risk and the financial reward in the long term by entering a new market, and this market that we've identified of growing homes and growing needs for low-income housing, which people, like we said before, people don't necessarily afford the expenditure on water for dishwashers.
As well as a 6-location business, we have pretty good expansion and reach throughout Saskatchewan. There are very similar markets in Manitoba and Alberta that wouldn't be that difficult to expand and branch out into. And again, as we've discussed, the retention of a customer in these kinds of companies, and these kinds of businesses that sell household items and plumbing, etc., is very high. People like to stick to one company and come back. So we are feeling very confident that people trust us and they come to us for advice on what products they might need, and we could confidently sell this product to our customer base.
What are you renting?
So
You're renting it.
yeah, so we're renting a location space to keep extra inventory because this is a huge product we're planning on exporting as well in the future. We'll need inventory space. So
Inventory of finished products?
yes. So we're again outsourcing the production of this product, and we're gonna we're gonna export from our location. So we'll import them from China, and then we'll have different retail locations. Again, as you can see, that increases with the expansion. And furthermore, that will be an inventory place to sell directly to the US market and to the Manitoba.
Can we go back to the statements first, the projecting statement for a second? I'm sorry. No. The one that showed the price and the multiplier? Right there. Unless I'm reading incorrectly, so you want 750,000 for a business that's going to make 8 million? Or is it
Yep, that is
7.5?
our ask. We're going to answer any further questions in the after period of our presentation. Thank you.
The important thing to understand, as we outline some of the risks that we actually didn't touch on, is yeah, it may be a faulty product, but we're investing a lot into re-engineering the product, making sure the due diligence is done. The warranty, we're going to offer a warranty on the product, fairly small warranty, but for the price of $150, it's still a great deal. Lack of consumer understanding. Also, how do we use the product? So this is all fully mitigated by our piloting process, the showcasing and advertising process, and obviously new entrants in the market. So obviously the patenting and the extension of this patent is going to mitigate that. So the important thing that we need to understand is 2 factors why this product works. 1, sustainability, and 2, stakeholders. Sustainability is huge. Every government organization wants to understand how we can reduce water and waste in the environment. And we're addressing that by this one simple $150 product that we're putting in people's homes. If you're thinking about stakeholders, you're providing another option to people who don't have necessary income to spend $3,000–4,000 on a dishwasher, and you're providing them with a simple purchase that allows them to speed and ease the process of washing dishes. All in all, as a group of entrepreneurs, we're bringing forward a simple product, and with the success of other similar products that are brought forward like this, the simplicity, the ease of use, and we're just adding a little bit more to that. So we're extremely excited to launch this, and we're hoping that you guys will take on this business endeavor with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you. It's nice to see you again. Thank you very much.
We have a break now, so I'll bring it. He said he'd
Yeah.
be willing to look at our slides, and I
I think so.
all the time, but I think this was a
This-
good one.
yeah.
Other than buying people on the training,